What's going on, everybody? This is Owen from Owen's Rock and Metal Podcast. Welcome in today to episode number 46 of the program. Thank you all for tuning in today. Today is March 29th. Today's episode is Metal March Madness. For the sports fans out there, March Madness, the annual basketball tournament, is going on as we speak right now. So I figured, since this is Owen's Rock and Metal Podcast, we would do a metal version of that. How today's episode is going to work. I have 16 albums from metal artists. These are famous albums within the metal world. How it's going to work is each album is lined up against each other in a bracket format. Me and my panel of guests here today are going to be voting on each album. The criteria for how each person votes is entirely up to them. They can be voting based on the cover art, the artist, their general opinion of the album. Some albums we may know more about than others. We are not claiming to be experts about every single one of these. Just wanted to pick some big names to fit into our list here today. With that being said, before I unveil the list, I want to introduce my panel of guests here today. First, we have frequent guest of the show, Jackson. Been a longtime guest. Glad to have you back on the show. Thank you for being here today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back. As always,
Absolutely.
it's an honor.
And then in person to my right here is another friend of the show, my friend John here, big metal fan. Thank you for coming on. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I will be biased today.
That's okay. Use your biases. You do not have to be unbiased. This is all about your opinion, but it was important that we had an odd number so that ties would not be a thing. So without further ado, the Owen's Rock and Metal Podcast Metal March Madness bracket unveiling. For those of you listening on podcast, not watching this episode, I will unveil the 16 seeds now. So in the 1 seed, we have Master of Puppets from Metallica, completely unbiased selection from me. In the 2 seed, down at the bottom of your screen, we have Rust in Peace, Megadeth's 1991 release. That is a very good metal album, especially in the thrash genre. I've got a poster of it just off screen. So I'm a big fan of that one as well.
So much.
In the 3 seed, we have Far Beyond Driven, Pantera's 3rd album with the core lineup, Philip Anselmo, Rex Brown, and the Abbott Brothers, of course. This one actually went to number 1 on the Billboard charts at the time of its release, so it has a very big legacy in the metal world. And then in the 4 seed, we have Ozzy Osbourne's debut solo album, Blizzard of Oz. This album just celebrated an anniversary, I believe 45 years. Well, definitely a classic, features tons of classic tracks. And we will look at the track listings for each of these closer as we work our way through the lists and the matchups. In the 5 seed, of course, Black Sabbath has to be included. I did not go with any classic Paranoid or self-titled release from Black Sabbath. Instead, I went with Sabotage, which has become one of my favorite albums in the last year or so.
Oh, yeah.
In the 6th seed, we have Iowa, Slipknot's 2nd album. I know some people here would prefer the debut album, but I decided to go with the 2nd album. I know that this album did chart very well on the Billboard charts at the time of release.
Yeah.
So definitely very famous and had its impact in popular culture as well.
That's their most famous, I would say. So I approve.
Our Slipknot expert. That is good. It was close. I was considering the self-titled. I had a list of about 45 albums, and I had to narrow it down to 16 here. In the 7 hole, we have Rain and Blood from Slayer. That is their 1986 release. I believe it is their 3rd album. 2 albums from 86 featured on this list here. And then in the 8th seed, we have Ashes of the Wake. That is Lamb of God's 2004 release, I believe. We have done an episode about that on Owen's Rock and Metal Podcast, so be sure to go back and listen to that episode if you want to learn more about that album. In the 9th seed, we have Holy Diver, Dio's Dio's solo debut album. Dio, of course, was in Black Sabbath prior to this and was also in Rainbow and Elf and had a long career, but decided to go with his solo debut to capture his sort of inclusion in this bracket. In the 10 seed, we have Lateralis from Tool. I've become a big Tool fan in the last 2 or 3 years or so wanted to include that as well. And then the 11 seed is Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water from Limp Bizkit. A little new metal inclusion here. Some have said this album is like mold and that it just grows on you. Very, a lot of big hits, very permeable in the 2000s popular culture. They were big, that red New Era Yankee cap. Iconic look. In the 12th seed, I have another 2000s inclusion here. We have From Mars to Sirius from French metal band Gojira. In the 13th seed, we have Judas Priest's British Steel. This features tracks like Breaking the Law and Living After Midnight, a 1980 release. Certainly a key album in the new wave of British heavy metal. In the 14 seed, we have The Blessed Hellride by Black Label Society, another 2000s inclusion here. And then in the 15 seed, some might say this is underseeded, but I think for the people on this panel here, not the biggest Iron Maiden fans, but we have Number of the Beast. This is early 1980s. This is the first Iron Maiden album to feature lead singer Bruce Dickinson. So with that, wanted to include Iron Maiden on this list due to their just legacy in the metal genre. And then to close out the list of 16 here, we have Rage Against the Machine, their debut album. The iconic cover with that Vietnam era photograph of the war protester setting himself on fire. Iconic imagery there and iconic tracks to go with that. So that is the list. To put the matchups into perspective, we have Master of Puppets going up against Rage Against the Machine's debut. Ashes of the Wake will be going up against Holy Diver from Dio. Blizzard of Oz will be going up against British Steel from Judas Priest. Sabotage will be going up against From Mars to Sirius by Gojira. Iowa by Slipknot will be going up against Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water from Limp Bizkit. Far Beyond Driven will be going up against The Blessed Hellride by Black Label Society. Rain and Blood will be going up against Lateralis by Tool. And Rust in Peace will be going up against The Number of the Beast from Iron Maiden.
I'm ready to vote.
We're ready to vote. Before we do that, we'll work our way through each of the albums and kind of give the people a little taste of what each one's about so it's not totally just blind voting. Starting with the first matchup, we've got Master of Puppets up against Rage Against the Machine's self-titled debut. Looking at Master of Puppets track listing as I work to pull this up.
I feel like
Yes, please. Do you have any commentary on this album? Have you ever listened to this album?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I've heard all the way through. It's really good.
It is.
And I've listened to all the Rage too. Oh man, this is a tough one. This one's classic.
This is a classic.
Really hard to beat this one.
86 release. We've got Battery kicking it off. Master of Puppets. The Thing That Should Not Be. Welcome Home. Sanitarium. Disposable Heroes, which is one of my favorite Metallica songs. Leper Messiah. Orion, which is a classic Metallica instrumental, which they were known to do in the early days. And Damage Incorporated. Clocks in at a little under an hour. I think it's kind of their masterpiece. Some might say Ride the Lightning. There's definitely some debate here, but for me, this is my favorite Metallica album.
Did this have Jason Newsted on it?
No, this was the last album to feature Cliff Burton. He died in that bus accident while they were touring with this album. Yeah. This album really gave them their big break. They were touring with Ozzy Osbourne. They were opening for Ozzy. He was on the Ultimate Sin tour, and he brought on this band Metallica. It really started to get them more attention across the genre. Jackson, talking about Master Puppets, our 1 seed here. Do you feel like this is a fitting 1 seed? Do you have any thoughts on this album?
Yeah, I honestly, this is probably the Metallica album that I feel that I listen to the most or know the most about. So for me, I like this one a bit more than the other ones. I don't listen to a lot of Metallica, but this is a very classic album and a lot of influence.
Definitely have to agree there. To give Rage Against the Machine their credit, going to pull up their debut album, look through the tracks, just so we're giving it its due. This Rage Against the Machine's debut was released in 1991. 1991 seems like quite the year for metal albums. I think I've seen that image go around where it's like a stack of cassettes and it's like Rust in Peace,
Yeah.
Metallica's self-titled,
Yeah.
like Nirvana's Nevermind, Pearl Jam's 10. It's like all of these albums were released within like 12 weeks of one another, which just I think is pretty crazy to think about. If you think about the context of music today, I don't know if we're getting
No,
that quality of music today.
I'll say that the cover for this album, the Rage album, beats Master. I know people love that Master of Puppets cover, but this album cover is insane.
It
Yeah.
is for core.
Being a 13-year-old boy with this, your mom wouldn't like it, but
No.
when the music goes with it, oh man, there's a good song on this album.
Yes. Talking about the songs,
Bomb Track,
Bomb
first
Track,
two
that
are nuts.
opening riff, Killing in the Name, Take the Power Back, Bullet in Your Head, Know Your Enemy, which features Tool frontman Maynard James Keenan, and then Freedom. Very angry sound here. That's kind of what Rage Against the Machine is known for. They bring the rage here. Jackson, any thoughts on the Rage Against the Machine album, the art, the tracks?
Yeah, I agree. The album cover is more so because it's an actual photo of something that took place, of that guy that lit himself on fire, which is crazy. So yeah, I gotta say the album cover, they're both cool album covers though, because they're both very iconic. Because the Master of Puppets one is cool, but just because this is real, I think it's a bit, I don't know, maybe a little bit cooler, maybe a little simpler too. But
True.
the Master of Puppets is very symbolic, of course.
Right.
It's both of them kind of talking about death and war and things like that, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. I think the track list on Master of Puppets beats this one, though, unfortunately. The
I-
cover is better here, but Master's track is really good.
Why is that unfortunate?
What do you mean?
You said it's not as good.
Well, it's just a better album, in my opinion. My humble
Yeah.
opinion.
How are we going to do this? So I hold
Let's start
myself and then we all vote at once.
We'll go ahead and it sounds like we're ready to vote. Jackson, what is your vote in this matchup between Master
A
Puppets?
Master of Puppets.
You'd go Master Puppets?
I'd
Yeah.
go Master of Puppets.
I'd also go Master Puppets. So let's go.
Yeah.
Still a good album.
Yes.
Rage is still.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just think that album Master of Puppets is just so much bigger and more influential and more well known, and just Rage is cool. They're really cool and it's a great album. But
As the guy who put this together, they're all good albums on this list to me.
right.
We may not all agree on some of them. I'm going to go ahead and just hold off on showing the actual spreadsheet, the actual bracket, so to speak, until we've actually moved on through all of the first round matchups. So, second matchup up here is Ashes of the Wake and Holy Diver from
man.
Dio.
You're cooking me here, huh?
So, I believe
This is like, I thought this was 06.
this is August of 2004.
All about the war in Iraq, I think.
I believe that is
Yeah,
correct.
man.
I have both of these on my shelf behind us here. I have a lot.
Jackson, have you ever heard Holy Diver all the way through?
no.
Yeah. But you know the main tracks.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dio was nuts for this one.
Right, we know what Jackson's going to vote for.
I mean, I vote for Ashes is insane.
Let's start with
Yeah,
the
I don't.
Ashes. Let me go ahead and pull up the old Wikipedia here.
I'm trying not to be biased. That's my mindset is influence and things of that nature. Yeah, Ashes of the
Cover
Wake.
here, Lamb of God. Jackson and I sat down and talked about this one 3-4 years ago.
This is
Yeah.
this is to me a perfect album.
You think so?
The track
It's
list.
really
There's
good.
not a bad song on it. The drumming's perfect.
Let's take a look at that track listing here. All tracks written by Randy Blythe, Willie Adler, Chris Adler, Morton, and John King.
There is not one bad song on here. They are all so strong.
The Rest, Hourglass.
I think Laid to the Rest is their most popular song, so
For
that
sure.
helps this one a little bit.
Right.
Mhm.
Eight of Line.
They play. I've seen them live twice. They play at least 3 of these songs. I mean, Jax, you've seen them with me. I know they played Laid,
Mhm.
Omerta, and I think Now You Got Something to Die For. Oh man, this.
Yeah. I think they do normally play that one. Yeah, this is
A very strong release for sure. And even the bonus track, Another Nail,
Oh, that one's so good too.
which They re-released with Kublai Khan.
Why would you pin this
Mhm.
against Dio? You know I love some.
Well,
Dio.
hold on. It's the 8-9 matchup. Those matchups are a coin flip. They're supposed to be close.
This is like classic metal for 2000s, and then you're pinning it
Mhm.
against a classic 80s album, which
one will prevail? That's what we're here to see.
this track list on this is so strong. This is why this is their best album. The cover art's sick.
It's got that groove to it. The guitar work is
Yeah.
Drumming is
the
nuts.
drumming is really good.
Jackson put me onto this band from this album, this song, Laid to Rest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this one's good. I could put this on and never get bored of it.
Really,
Every song.
This is one of those albums where I enjoy taking the time if I'm cutting the grass or going to the gym, just turning it on and letting it play.
The way through. Oh man,
Yeah.
Ashes Awake is such a good song. Isn't that
Yeah.
Is
that the one
It's kind of an instrumental.
talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's sick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. What about Holy Diver?
Let's take a look at Holy Diver.
This one is great. Okay. I just sucked that album's dick off, but the Holy Diver is insane.
Well, let's talk about Holy Diver. Dio.
Okay. This is 1 year out of
Yeah.
Black Sabbath after dropping 2 insane classic Sabbath albums.
Yes. Nearly thought about putting Dio's Sabbath contributions on here, but went with his solo album as well. Iconic cover.
Iconic cover.
Using the record stories.
Mhm.
This is like a top 10 classic metal album ever.
We should do album cover episode.
Yeah, we should. Cover's sick. Oh God, what's his?
Vivian Campbell?
No, the mascot. I can't remember his name.
Jackson would know this.
Yeah.
Murray.
What's the track list?
Let's look at the track listing. We've got Stand Up and Shout, Holy Diver, Gypsy, Caught in the Middle, Don't Talk to Strangers, Straight Through the Heart, Invisible, Rainbow in the Dark, and Shame on the Night.
Jackson, I don't even know. All these songs are good.
They're really good. Stand Up and Shout's got a great guitar riff. Holy Diver is an iconic song. You've probably heard the Killswitch Engage cover.
They did that.
Yeah.
They did the cover of Holy Diver. All right, I'll make my opinion on this one. This is almost a perfect track list too. But on terms of like influencing, Lamb's is stronger. Ashes of the Wake is stronger.
So you're voting for Lamb?
Yeah, I have to, even though I love Dio. Fuck.
Jackson, do you have a vote?
Yeah. I know Rainbow in the Dark and Holy Diver. Like I said, I haven't really listened to that album. But yeah, I feel like the Ashes of the Wake is really strong. Maybe a little biased, but I really like that album. And I think it's a great album.
I agree. What's your vote, buddy?
So Ashes is one. So it's two to, I could give Holy Diver the pity vote. I could say, well, at least somebody voted for it. Or I could join with the crowd and say,
what do you think?
Lamb has a better album.
What would you vote?
I come back to Ashes more and I listen to that more. But when I look at the tracks for Holy Diver, it's like, it has the hits, Rainbow in the Dark, Holy Diver, but Stand Up and Shout. I love that riff. Caught in the Middle. I love how Dio sounds on that one. And the guitar work is really strong on this album. But I'm trying to think if I had to just listen to one of them, like if I could only take one of them with me, which one would I pick? It's tough. I would probably vote, I'm going to say Holy Diver, but it's close.
Wow, I can't believe that. I feel ashamed. I'm such a huge Dio fan. I feel terrible now. I don't want to change my vote.
Again, my vote didn't break anything, so I felt like I'll give it some pity, love, maybe.
Fair enough. Both great albums.
Both great albums.
Mhm.
We'll go on to our 4-13 matchup.
I'm going to be biased about this one, just let you know. I already know.
Well, that's not too surprising. Do you want to just tell the people about your fandom of Ozzy Osbourne for a second?
I'm like the biggest Ozzy fan on the planet.
This is going up against this is Ozzy's debut, Blizzard of Oz, against British Steel, Judas Priest's 1980 release. We'll take a look here at Blizzard of Oz first. This features, Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley.
Jackson, what's your opinions on Blizzard? Let me hear yours, because me and Owen, I could go forever alone.
That is the one. That's the Ozzy solo album that I have listened to the most, that I like the most, probably because it has some of his biggest stuff on it, and I think is the coolest. I like it a lot, and I don't know, it's cool. It's a cool album.
Randy Rhoads on Coming Out of Nowhere.
I feel like
go ahead.
I'm not as big into Ozzy as much as you or Owen, so you guys have a lot more of a I don't know, a scope on everything that he does solo wise.
When you get to Slipknot, I know you. I know
So
you'll take the reins on this.
yeah, but yeah, so I think this is a really cool album.
Yeah. So
Sorry, go ahead.
no, but looking at the track list here, just for the people listening on just audio only, we have I Don't Know, Crazy Train, Goodbye to Romance, D, which is a fire instrumental, Suicide Solution, Mr. Crowley, No Bone Movies, Revelation Mother Earth, and then Steal Away the Night. This album is under 40 minutes long, but they pack a punch into these, into those just a little over half an hour.
I think that's great that it's not too
Yeah,
I would take quality over quantity in an album every
Yeah.
single time.
and this is exactly that. There's not bad songs on it.
And contextually, this is his, after he was kicked out of Sabbath, this is his,
Is this 81?
sounds
Yeah, it
right.
was 81, then came to America.
So it was released in the UK September of 1980, and then 1981 27th. So just a few days before this recording here today in the United States. First album following his firing from Black Sabbath in 1979 is the first of 2 studio albums that featured Randy Rhoads prior to his passing away in 1982. For me, this is my favorite Ozzy album. I think there are some of his work in the 90s is close to this, but I think just the energy that he had coming out of Sabbath is the strongest here, and I think it shows itself in the tracks.
Yeah. Phenomenal. I mean, it's gonna win. It's gonna get my vote because it's too strong.
All right, well, don't spoil that yet.
It's too strong of a first album. That's the thing. It's his first one. So, and it's pinned up against what? British Steel.
British Steel. I know you don't really listen to Judas
I know.
Priest.
I know a lot of these songs.
So this is 1980. So this is a similar time in music. Ozzy and Judas Priest were close, so this isn't like a rivalry or anything. Another pretty iconic album cover here.
Classic.
It is
This
classic.
Is a classic metal album.
Looking
too.
at the track listings, we've got Breaking the Law, Rapid Fire, Metal Gods, Grinder, United, Living After Midnight, You Don't Have to Be Old to Be Wise, The Rage, and Steeler. Interesting thing about this track list is this is the 1980 track list. The versions you may find on like Spotify, they have a different order, and that is this order seen here. Rapid Fire, Metal Gods, Breaking the Law, Grinder, United, You Don't Have to Be Old to Be Wise, Living After Midnight, The Rage, and Steeler. Did an episode on them. I think it was like episode 14. So it was a while ago, but if you're interested in learning more about them, you can go back and listen to that episode. Jackson, Priest, any Guitar Hero influence there? Or do you listen to any?
Not really Guitar Hero influence. I've heard like Breaking the Law. I'm not super into Judas Priest, but I'm trying to even think if there are any Guitar Heroes that have any of their songs. I think there's maybe one, maybe.
Both of these
Not
albums
yeah.
you'll hear on the radio.
That is true.
So they're very radio friendly songs.
4/7 classics.
Yeah, yes, they are.
Yeah,
But I feel like if you walk down the street and you ask random people, "Do you know who Ozzy Osbourne is?" They'll go, "Yes." So, "Do you know who Judas Priest is?" They'll go, "No."
No.
So I just think that Blizzard has a stronger presence.
So it sounds like you're voting for Blizzard. Jackson, are you also voting for Blizzard of Oz?
Yeah, I'm also voting for Blizzard.
What are you voting for, silly guy?
Well, I could pull another
You better
last
not.
vote and just vote against Ozzy, but
Not do it.
I'm not going to do that because that'll happen sometimes. For context, for people listening, this whole idea springs from at work. We'll have different topics, and put it in a bracket. And at the end of our weekly meeting, we'll vote on it. And it'll just be a good team bonding activity that we spend, some time on. Some people, if I'll put, whatever the topic is, my list, they'll disagree with it. Or if I'll make known that I really like something, they will, in an effort to troll me, they will vote against whatever I have proclaimed to like. In this case, my 2 guests on this panel have, made it known they really like the Ozzy album. I could troll them and vote for British Steel.
They're not.
But I'm not going to do it because I think British Steel is the inferior album. So I'm going to give it to Blizzard of Oz here. So this is a clean sweep from our panel. Looking next is our 5-12 matchup. For those sports fans here, we have
such a good one.
in the 5-12 matchup in March Madness, that is a common spot for the upsets to occur. We could see an upset here, but we'll have to look at the albums first.
We better not see an upset here.
These are your bands. This is supposed to be hard.
These are my bands. You just did this to upset me.
Well, I was going to put it up against Chocolate Starfish.
this is a great album.
So we'll start with the lower seed here, so we don't have our like mind made up by the time we talk about the second album. So this is going to be a little more 2000s influence here. This is Gojira's From Mars to Sirius. This came out in 2005. It has been ranked among the greatest metal albums of all time, according to publications such as Rolling Stone magazine. John, you're a big Gojira fan. What are your thoughts on this album?
This one's crazy. It's loud, it's heavy, it's in your face. It's hard. It's a hard album.
Taking a look at the track list here, we have Ocean Planet, Backbone, From the Sky, Unicorn, Where Dragons Dwell, The Heaviest Matter of the Universe, Flying Whales, In the Wilderness, World to Come, From Mars to Sirius, and Global Warming. This album is over an hour, so we just talked about Blizzard being under 40 minutes. This one is a little on the longer side. Some tracks are pushing 8 minutes here, but
we've all seen this band, and I know they play at least 3 of those songs almost every concert, sometimes 4 of them. I've seen them play 5 of these songs.
Would you say this is their most famous album?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, you like this one more, right, than some of the other ones? This is more your taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say this is probably my favorite album from Gojira. Probably, yeah. Super sweet. It's just it's a cool album. I think it was the first one I had listened to. Because I had a friend that liked them and he really liked this album. And then so he showed it to me and I like this album a lot.
It's got their biggest song, Flying Whales.
Yeah.
So that helps. Right after this one, their discography didn't get. I feel like this album, after this album, it wasn't the same. They got a little more, I don't know, radio friendly is the word.
Melodic, maybe?
Yeah, and less like heavy and death.
Yeah.
Metally. So this one kind of was like, they had 3 of them, and this was their last of the really hard, heavy stuff. Still was heavy, but this one's great. And you pinned it against it'll
be going up against Black Sabbath's Sabotage. This is the 6th studio album from English heavy metal band Black Sabbath, released July 28th, 1975. This album was recorded in the midst of a legal battle with the band's former manager. The stress that resulted from the band's ongoing legal woes infiltrated the recording process, inspiring the album's title. They felt like they were being sabotaged. Features the classic lineup. The cover art.
I love it. I don't care. It's terrible. Everyone says it's terrible. It's
really?
A great cover. I could talk an hour about this album. This is the band's peak. People will say it didn't happen. This is the band's peak. They peaked on this album. Ozzy peaked on this album. The cocaine was heavy on this album. Track list is good too.
Let's take a look at that track list here.
God, it's good. Ozzy's belting on this.
Hole in the Sky, Don't Start Too Late, which is an instrumental track. Symptom of the Universe.
First thrash song right there. That's what I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think it's the first thrash song ever. Go ahead.
You could probably. Queen has some early stuff that's kind of thrashy.
Queen. All right. I'm sorry.
I think so. I don't know which came out first. Mania, The Thrill of It All, Am I Going Insane, and The Writ. And then there is another instrumental track in there. Super Czar. This one's got a little different sound than some of the early Sabbath. But Ozzy's voice is amazing on this one. I mean, this album has a song over 9 minutes long, and has a song that's almost 9 minutes long, with The Writ being 8 minutes and 45 seconds.
God, these are good albums, man. Pinning against each other.
Well,
I'm gonna be biased, not just because I'm wearing this shirt, but this one's just too strong for me.
Jackson,
just in their discography, it's too strong.
Do you have any thoughts on Sabotage?
Well, we were talking about the cover art. I think the cover art's cool. It's a mind fuck, kind of, it messes with you with the mirror. I think it's cool. Like I said, you guys are a lot more into Ozzy, a lot more into Black Sabbath, which I know I know a few of these songs. I don't know the album. Like, I would maybe listen to some, like, I don't know it as much as Gojira, but I believe the when you say like, oh, this is his peak, yeah, I believe it. And I hear you guys talk a lot about this album, so
yeah,
I'm
aware of its presence very much.
Okay.
You were saying?
I have a poster of this in my room. So I think this is my favorite. It's probably my favorite Sabbath album.
Really? Funny story. Not really funny, but little story about this. Friend of the show, Roman, we all know Roman. He is getting into Sabbath more, and he texted me the other day. He said, "Is it crazy to say that the Dio Sabbath, I like that more than the Ozzy?" And I said, it's not really crazy to say because the Dio Sabbath is very good, but I'm like, I prefer the Ozzy, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, I listened to some of those first couple albums, and I said, listen, before you've heard Sabotage, you really haven't heard it all.
No.
I'm like, put on the ring. I promise you,
Yeah.
it's not. That's like a deep cut. Like that's a song that you can like if you throw out and you're talking with like people who like Sabbath. That's where you can really kind of prove yourself as
Yeah.
a hard like that's a deep cut, so to speak.
Yeah.
With that being said,
Oh, but From Mars to Sirius is good too. But I'm voting. I mean, you knew my vote the minute we got in this. Sabotage is strong. Around.
Jackson, what's your vote?
I don't know. I feel like that Sabotage is gonna take this one, so maybe I'll pull an Owen and vote for Mars to Sirius and
It's a
just
valid
do it to
vote.
give it a vote. I
Perfect.
definitely can speak more on that one.
Yeah.
And it did do a lot for, I think, pushing it. It almost got more popular, I feel like, in recent years as Gojira has gotten bigger and it's pushed heavier music very much for a lot of people. But Sabbath is way more influential than any of that stuff. So, but maybe I think I'll give it a vote just because
So
I'll
you're
give
perfect from
from
Mars
Mars
to
to Sirius.
Sirius.
Yeah.
John's voted for Sabotage. This puts me in the perfect spot. Whatever I say goes. I am the tiebreaker.
Let's hear it.
With that being said, I revisit one of these albums way more. I could sing one of these albums way more. Just know the music front to back. From Mars to Sirius is not even my favorite Gojira album. So with that being said, I'm going to vote Sabotage here, and that will be moving on. And just to look ahead, it's going to go up against Blizzard.
Oh God.
So that'll be fun.
All right, let's get into Jackson's territory.
This
here.
is Jackson's territory. We've got Iowa, Slipknot's second album. You guys went to Iowa to go see Slipknot. We actually talked about that Knotfest experience on Owen's Rock and Metal podcast. So yeah, you have both seen Slipknot.
You haven't?
I've never seen Slipknot. I don't want to see that sorry ass. No, I'm just kidding. I like Slipknot. They're they're all right. They're not like one of my favorite bands, but I'll put them on and I'll enjoy some of their stuff. I would probably say, if we're just talking about these albums broadly, I would say I listen to Slipknot more than Gojira. It's probably close, but Jackson, this is your band. Go ahead and tee us up.
Yeah. Yeah, this is full swing Slipknot. This is after they gained so much momentum from their first album, this is where really it just kind of they were massive. They were doing a lot of drugs at this time. They were touring the world. They were going crazy. People loved them. This is their heaviest album for sure. It's their just most angry and nasty and heavy. Very also iconic for Slipknot fans or even people that maybe aren't. People equal shit, It's also very angry sounding, right?
Yes.
But even like the Heretic Anthem, they always play that. They always play People Equal Shit. There's a lot of songs on here. Sometimes they'll do Left Behind. Yeah, I don't know. Great album from them, and probably their most popular, but maybe like the fandom most popular. I prefer, as you said, their first album, but
this is the
yeah.
most popular by the fans, right? But like not by sales and Spotify listening and stuff like that. Would you say?
I would say probably. Yeah, I feel like if you're like a real big Slipknot fan, you're like really into it. This is the core fan base's favorite. But sales wise, I don't even know what the top is. I would guess like All Hope Is Gone or
It's like the least
like,
most radio friendly, I feel like.
yeah. But to be but funny enough, My Plague is in one of the old Resident Evil movies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was a Resident Evil song. Yeah. Which is also a cool song. But I'm sure that at the time that put some people on to Slipknot. Yeah, great
Is
album.
this your favorite?
No, he likes the debut.
Debut,
No,
right?
I like the debut, yeah.
Oh, man.
Bro, he loves the debut.
But
We talked about the debut.
But this one's really good. You like this one more than the debut, right?
I think I say that partially just to mess with Jackson.
Oh, I
but
thought you meant that.
I do mean it, but
That doesn't get under my skin. That's valid.
we'll have to find other ways to get under your skin then. Track list here. 515, People Equal Shit, Disaster Piece, My Plague, Everything Ends, The Heretic Anthem, Gently Left Behind, The Shape, I Am Hated, Skin Ticket, New Abortion, Metabolic, and Iowa, which is a 15-minute fucking song.
It's yeah, just kind of on there to be on there, instrumental, creepy, whatever.
Okay. I remember when I first started listening to Slipknot, it was not that long ago. Let's say 6 years ago. I remember getting to this one, and like you said, the rage, like you could just feel the anger. And I think this was 2001 when this came out. This was the new millennium. Some people frustrated with how the world was going. I think that this tapped into a lot of that, and that's why it was so popular. And if we look at like the charts, this was in the top 10 charts for
You play.
several different
Yeah.
countries. If you look at the US, this was number 3 on the Billboard 200, which is the top 200 albums of all genres. So for an album like this to chart
Mhm.
that high in terms of popularity is pretty impressive. Yeah. This is another one I have on my shelf. So not to brag about my record collection here, but
And the masks, because that's a big part of the band.
tell us about the masks.
The masks of this time frame were pretty cool. It was a cool mix of still being kind of something they store bought and mutilated, I guess is like a good word,
Mm-hmm.
and converted to whatever they wanted to wear on stage. And then some of them were starting to get professional made masks at this point. But also kind of just the nastiest and clown, one of the guys, he had like they really went for a satanic look. So he has like the star with the circle, like a pentagram on his face, like it's like carved into a clown face. It's kind of freaky. So definitely like I feel like that's intriguing to people when they see something that crazy.
Sure. Um, it's got its place. There's a certain shock value, I think, with that band, especially too, like in a live setting, there's like 9 guys up on stage. Some of them are like just hitting a keg with a baseball bat. It just kind of looks like this kind of controlled chaos um, that I think draws people in. It'll be going up against our 11th seed here, Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water.
2 new metal bands.
2 new metal.
Yeah.
It's the similar time period.
Their guitar player is up on stage.
This was
Yeah.
released in 2000, so this is like a year prior. So Slipknot's came out August of 2001. This was 2000, so they're like less than a year apart.
Yeah.
Imagine being a kid at this time and you're like you're into this kind of music. It had to be a good time.
Yes, for sure.
This is also the face of new metal, this album, and Limp Bizkit really, but this album. So yeah, it is kind of hard because this is a very classic, not as angry, not as crazy, but it's just very classic new metal.
No, will say this. I do not like this cover very much.
No, that's why it's so great. It looks like shit. The whole point,
It's squished, like they
supposed to look
stretched
like
the
shit.
image.
the album is shitty. That was the whole point. They didn't give a shit, but it was their best. This is their best album, obviously.
Yeah. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart. So these are both in the top 3. This sold over 1 million copies in the first week. Which, think about, this was back before like there was like Napster and things like that were starting to come on, but by and large, people were still buying the CD. They were still going to the record store, wherever that was. Looking at the tracks here, we got Intro, then we got Hot Dog, My Generation, Full Nelson, My Way, Rollin', which is the most popular song off of here, Living It Up, The One, Get Your Groove On, Take a Look Around, It'll Be Okay, Boiler, Hold On, and then we've got another version of Rollin', the inferior version, and then we've got the outro here, another like 10-minute outro. Why do we have that? But
that is a perfect. There's no skips except those like weird extra ones.
So-
Get you groove on.
there's no skips with it.
There are 2 skips on that. But the songs that aren't bullshit, it's perfect. This is a great album.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's
cool.
interesting because so when John told me that he liked Limp Bizkit, I was very surprised because I never listened to the Limp Bizkit and thought, you know what, my friend John would love this band. To me, I always thought it'd be kind of creepy and just weird and out there, and just the way that like the
Love it.
vocal sound and just how it is. But yeah, you love it, and it's cool.
Yeah, it out of the oh man, I don't know. It's just too good.
Are we ready to vote? Is there anything else we want to see?
You go ahead and go
We'll
ahead.
start with you, Jackson. How about you lead us off?
I'm trying not to be biased and we're doing this here, but I feel like I have to go with Slipknot. I think I have to go with Iowa because wow, big surprise. Just because of the longevity, right? That's full swing Slipknot, and Slipknot has continued to be just this huge band in metal. A lot of people get into metal through Slipknot. That's kind of one of their biggest albums. Chocolate Starfish is like the face of new metal, which is what Slipknot is categorized. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just go to Iowa just because that's a little biased there.
You rocking with Limp Bizkit?
I'm rocking with Chocolate Starfish. I know Iowa's good. I've heard it. It is good. There's a lot of great songs on it. But I think Chocolate Starfish as a whole with the songs and the impact was it different. I don't know. That one. Those two bands are hard to pin. But I'm Chocolate Starfish.
That's not you don't really like the earlier era of Slipknot. You like a little bit
I
of the
do
later.
like it, not as much as
Yeah,
the.
I'm just
but-
saying not as that's not like your favorite time frame.
I'm hoping is gone. In here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope is gone would be a stronger contender. That's just my opinion.
That's fine. That's fine.
Chocolate Starfish wins it for me.
Well, then I guess it's up to me. Once again, position I love to be in here. Let me look at these track lists again.
Both. They play these live too. They play
do.
a lot of those live.
They do be playing these live. Here's my opinion on these two. For me, the songs that are like very high peaks, like I won't listen to both of these albums like straight through really, because they just have songs that I'm just like, all right, whatever. But like the hits, the ones that you come back to are both very strong on these albums. And lately I've been listening to more Limp Bizkit, but that doesn't mean that the Slipknot stuff is invalid. And when I think about what these albums make me feel, generally, I think I'm having a better time when I'm listening to the Limp Bizkit material. With that being said, I'm going to cast my vote for Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water. So that is going to move on to our second round here.
There you go.
Okay. Next up, we have a little Pantera, one of my favorite metal bands, one of the great metal bands of all time. We have their third album with the core lineup, Far Beyond Driven. And then we have some Black Label Society with a little guitar player known as Zach Wild. Black Label just came out with a new album. Has anybody here had a chance to listen to that?
A few times, actually.
Wow. Multiple times through. So we'll start with the Black Label's album here. Is this their third album?
It's their third and it's their third and their most popular.
Is it more popular than Mafia?
Yeah, it is. Oh man, it's such a good album. Oh man, you're picking albums in the same years too.
This was 2003, April 22nd, 2003, 45 minutes here. This is just classic heavy metal, some Southern influences
I'll give
here.
credit to Jackson for putting me on to this band and this album in particular. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the credit. Like you don't pretend that you always listen to this band.
No, I'm new to this. I've only been listening to this band for 6 years. Really, if you think about it. Yeah.
Well, that's like the thing. It's like time. Like I've been listening to so many of these bands. I probably listened to Pantera for that same amount of time. I
would like to point out that Ozzy Osbourne is on this album, so that's gonna beat Pantera a little bit. So I confirmed it with Zach. I asked the man who made this song. I said, "Is Ozzy really on?" And he goes, "Yeah, he's on the record." I'm like, "Sick." Now I know. Not really a skip on here. This is pure Zach. Lots of heavy, a lot of piano,
shredding, dude.
Shredding.
The first 5 songs on here are awesome. First 6, first 8.
I know we all love the song "Stillborn."
Stillborn's awesome.
He's opening his tour with Funeral Bell right now, so plays a lot of this album on his tour. Seen him a lot.
So looking at the tracks here, this is Stoned and Drunk. I love that one. Doomsday Jesus, Stillborn, Suffering Overdue. Love the solo on that one. The Blessed Hellride, Funeral Bell, Final Solution, Destruction Overdrive, Blackened Waters, We Live No More, and Dead Meadow.
The end of the album's a little weaker. I mean,
sure.
The front of it's a little stronger.
Right.
This is a great album. Is it my favorite by him? No, but it's definitely the most radio.
What is your favorite BLS album?
It's his second.
Sonic Blue?
Yeah, no, that's his first.
They both came out in 2018.
Yeah, this is a great album. Putting it against Pantera album's hard because Zach and Dimebag shred very similar. So
Jackson, What are your thoughts on Black Label? I hear you put John onto this
You did.
band.
Yeah, I'm not somebody that listens to a lot of their stuff. I'm not super into them like John. I just know popular songs by them, and I just showed him a popular song, and he really liked it, and he likes Ozzy, so then he got into this, and
And
it
where'd you hear that popular song? Right?
it was from Guitar Hero so when I heard
It,
Stillborn.
that's so cool.
Oh yeah, very cool.
It's
Just good.
So
yeah, that's great.
I haven't heard. I haven't heard all of this album, but I've listened to the first bit of it, like turn it on, listen to it, maybe turn it off, get not get bored, but like do something else or whatever.
Yeah,
Listen here and you can stop.
yeah, but yeah,
But
But
something
yeah,
some homework then. Um, Looking at Pantera's here. Um, for me, it was close to put this one on here, or Vulgar Display of Power, or even Cowboys from Hell. This is the seventh studio album by Pantera. It's really the third with Phil Anselmo on vocals. The first four albums or whatever are what's known as Glam Terra. It's when they were kind of a glam metal band. So this is the first album apparently where he is credited as Dimebag Daryl. Changed his nickname from Diamond to Daryl. I guess Dimebag is a little more hardcore or whatever. This is the Pantera's fastest selling album. Peaked at #1 on the Billboard 200, certified platinum by the RIAA, which means they sold over 1 million copies of this release. Widespread acclaim. Looking at the cover art here, looking at the track listing: Strength Beyond Strength, Becoming, 5 Minutes Alone, I'm Broken, Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills. That song sucks. Hard Lines, Sunken Cheeks. Not a fan of that one really either. Slaughtered is a really good song. 25 Years. Shedding Skin, Use My Third Arm, Throes of Rejection. And then there is, on certain versions, a Planet Caravan
great
cover, which is a really strong cover from Pantera. Phil's voice really shows a different side of it here. Jackson, you a Pantera fan? What do you think about this album?
my dad's a pretty big Pantera fan. That's where I would hear this album growing up is or just Pantera in general growing up. It was more so from him. This is a good gym album. I'll play this one working out. And yeah, I think Pantera, a great band in general to listen while you're like lifting weights at the gym. But yeah, I like this one quite a bit. But all the albums you named that you were considering to put on this list are all pretty good because it's a lot of they just kind of classic Pantera.
Classic Pantera. What about you? What do you think about Pantera?
I like this album a lot. I like Pantera. I don't hate any of their albums. Most of those songs I listen to. This is a good one.
It's a good one.
This is really hard to pin against each other. I mean, I'm a huge BLS fan, so man, this one's getting close.
This was 94.
I want to vote last.
March of 94. Okay, we'll put you last. This was 03 for Black Labels. Similar times here. I'm going to go ahead and start here. No, I don't want to start. Jackson, you go ahead.
No, you haven't started once.
It's a hard pick. That's why I want to think about it more. Because I do really like. All right, here's my thought process. Finally, if you were putting together, like, if you were ranking these bands' resume, I would take Pantera's resume. But if I'm thinking of this album in a vacuum, just what is on this album, I do like a lot of the Blessed Hellride. That is my favorite BLS album, probably. I'll say favorite BLS studio album. With that being said, I think the Pantera stuff is just too classic, and it's just got more punch to it. I think Zach's is a little more maybe shreddy. I think I like the riffs driven aspect of Far Beyond Driven more. So I'm going to vote for Far Beyond Driven. You wanted to vote last. So
Jackson.
We'll call on Jackson here.
When I think of Black Label Society and I think of just the kind of the band as a whole, I see it as it's Zach doing his thing and just making his own band and all of that after Ozzy. I feel like it's almost somewhat of a continuation of the legacy that is Ozzy and that he was a part of and continuing that in his own way. Whereas where I see Pantera, I kind of see it as its own like influence rather than a continuation of like carrying kind of the honor in a way. Like both good things. But I personally, I feel like maybe also a little biased. I'm going to say Far Beyond Driven because it is classic Pantera, kind of another space versus Zach more so continuing the although Ozzy and him were just doing stuff at the same time. I feel like he's very much that's where his start was, so it kind of carries on there.
All right. Well, you wanted to vote last. Your vote is pretty much, it's not going to change anything. But what is your vote?
I'm voting for the Blessed No Ride. I'm leaving bias out of it. I think it's a better album.
Tell us why.
It's more listenable to me. It's varies more. There's not really bad songs. There's good guitar solos on every song. Ozzy's on it. Stillborn's on it. Those are just Stillborn, even though it's like less than 4 minutes, it's too good of a song. So I'll die for that album.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. I understand why Far Beyond is better.
He understood.
Picked rather than...
I like them both. It was close for me. I don't know.
Now, this is going to bite y'all later because I'm going to smoke y'all's bands later. No, I'm just kidding. Wow. That one's good. That was a good pair up. Honestly, I think... Oh, man, Pantera's good. Dimebag is shreds, too. All right, y'all can talk about this one because y'all love some Tool.
All right, we'll start with the Tool.
Love some Tool.
Well,
especially you guys.
Do you like Tool?
I do, but not as much as y'all. Let's hear it.
We've got Lateralis, Tools. What is this? 2001. We have not talked about this one on the podcast, but Jackson and I did sit down a year ago. The podcast is kind of revival. We talked about some Enema. So this came out May of 2001. We've got this cover art here. This album's kind of known for... Tool as a whole band is known for being a little more progressive, not in terms of like politics, but in terms of like the music, in terms of complexity and things like that. So track listing here, we've got The Grudge. Love that song. Eon Blue Apocalypse. Tool is also known for some like just interludes that lead into the next track that are kind of, if you look at the song in a vacuum, it's a nothing, but if you listen to the whole album, it fits. So that's what a song like Eon Blue Apocalypse is. The Patient, really like that one too. Mantra, Schism, it's probably one of their most famous songs, if not their most famous. Parabola, Ticks and Leeches, that's an awesome song. Lateralis, that is the one that the Fibonacci sequence, and people kind of geek out over that one. Disposition, Reflection, Triad, and then I don't even know how to pronounce that last song, but it's on there. 78 minutes. This is probably the longest album we've looked at. So for me, we talked about gym albums. Tool is great in the gym because you can just put your headphones on and just sort of focus on what you're doing, and the music is just sort of there. This one's different. Tool's not for everybody. They're longer songs. I think if you have an appreciation for like if you listen to rock radio or like metal radio or whatever, you might not like Tool as much because the songs are too long, or it's just, you might think Maynard's a weirdo or whatever. But I think if you have appreciation for the artists and the instruments and what they're playing, and they're some of the best musicians in metal, in my opinion, especially like Danny Carey, the drummer. So I have a lot of high praise for this album. For the longest time, I was not into Tool, but that's changed in the last several years. Jackson, we'll switch to you. Lateralis as an album, Tool as a band, just any kind of thoughts here.
Yeah. A lot of people, I would say the Tool fandom, this is the favorite album or considered their best album. I think 10,000 Days is my favorite as a personal. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm just saying it's my favorite. Because I see why people say that this is the best album. Very, very long, like you said, which is, I think it makes it hard to get to know the album because it takes re-listens to just get to know it. But yeah, there's some great songs on here, and Lateralis is, I don't know. I mean, that's definitely up there for one of their most famous songs. I don't know if it's their most famous, but
Schism's
it's a cool
probably
song. Yeah, Schism. Yeah. It's a cool song. I just think Lateralis, people get so into it with the Fibonacci sequence and how that is layered in the song and how the lyrics go up and go down and all that stuff. So I think people respect that and think it's cool that they have a song like that does something kind of different.
You have any thoughts on this album?
Not this album in particular. I only know a few songs, but I will give the flowers to Tool where they deserve it.
Yeah.
I know they're good. They're not for everyone. I like a lot of their songs. Haven't dove into this one though, but they're good.
I'd recommend it. Looking at its opponent here, not sure if the panel likes this band. I don't know that they have a big fandom for them. This is Slayer's Rain and Blood. This came out in 1986, 10 years Master of Puppets. So if you were into thrash metal, also the same year as Peace Sells But Who's Buying, if you were a thrash metal fan in 1986, that was the place to be. This band, really known for like satanic imagery, I would say. They write about a lot of like Nazi shit too. They're pretty hardcore. Listening to them musically, it's thrash. It's pretty intense. It's kind of like breakneck speed. Songs like Angel of Death, Piece by Piece.
It's a 30-minute album.
30-minute
really
album.
did something different.
So yeah. So looking at just like the track lengths, like you pointed out, this is 50 minutes. This is almost an hour shorter. No, wait.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, because this is 78 minutes to 28 minutes.
30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, 40 minutes. So 40 minutes shorter. The title track, Raining Blood, which is spelled different than the album name, Rain in Blood. Reborn's a great one. Postmortem. I find a Slayer, they can kind of run together. It's like, all right, the songs, the riffs are just open guitar string, and then just like Tom Araya screaming and
very same song over and over again.
Drum fill, yeah. Which,
if you like it, you like it.
You like it, you like it. There's a formula. They do kind of change it up on like a South of Heaven or Seasons in the Abyss, things like that. But Jackson, are you into Slayer at all? What's sort of your Slayer opinions?
They're cool, and I think they have a big influence. I don't listen to a lot of their stuff, but I'll listen to their popular songs, and really, that's about it.
Yeah. So Rolling Stone in 2017, they did a list of the 100 greatest metal albums of all time. This came in at number 6. This was Slayer's first time in the Billboard 200 as well. And just talking about the Billboard 200, we didn't mention it for Lateralis, but that one did go to number 1 on the charts.
I'm voting Tool here.
You're voting Tool?
Yeah, I'm voting Tool.
You don't like Slayer?
I do like Slayer. I do like, it's just two different sounds, but Tool is just more complete as a band and musically.
Jackson?
Yeah, I think Rain and Blood is still very influential, but I'm gonna have to go Tool.
Damn.
Owen?
The panel disagrees. I'm voting Slayer here.
Whoa.
I like Slayer. I like thrash.
I wasn't ready for that.
I just like, I think the length of it and I think the digestibility of it. Tool, I will listen to Lateralis more, but I think if I'm putting them in a vacuum and not like what I'm into at the moment, I think Rain and Blood's a better album. But that's just my opinion. All right. Now we have a really strong album.
Go ahead and name them. What are the albums going here? Name them.
We got Rest in Peace.
Okay, that one wins.
Number of the Beast.
No matter what you put next to it, well, it does.
What if I put
a
Sabbath album?
Yeah.
What if I put Heaven and Hell there?
Rest in peace. I'll shut up. Y'all, you know what? Talk about.
Let's give Number of the Beast some love. It sounds like this is going to be a washout. Got a poster this on the wall.
I was just looking at it.
I love the art. I think Maiden has really cool art.
I don't think their art matches their music, though. I don't.
Yeah, I understand that.
Is that Eddie?
That is Eddie. Eddie is their mascot. Eddie's like the most famous mascot in metal.
Wow.
That's not even like debatable.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Vic Rattlehead.
I believe it.
Is this number 2? He's got to be.
Maybe there's an argument probably between Vic and like the Motorhead guy.
No. All right. We can argue off the screen. Not the mascot.
Well, like that thing with like the fucking
the
logo,
snarling dude with the Vic, no, he's cooler.
Make that sucks.
No, I'm going to be biased as a motherfucker with this album, so I'll
give it some name. This is not my favorite Iron Maiden album, but it's probably the most like iconic in the discography. Yeah, Run to the Hills, Number of the Beast is the big one. Hallowed Be Thy Name. This is about 40 minutes. First one with Bruce Dickinson. But the first, really, if people who are unfamiliar with Maiden, listen to their first 7 albums. That's really where you want to live with them, and that includes this one. This reached the top 40 on the Billboard 200, produced singles like Run to the Hills, Number of the Beast. They sing about a lot of like historical stuff. So like Run to the Hills is about like people coming here to the United States and like Native American conflict with the settlers. And then, Number of the Beast, that's about Satan and the devil. And those are kind of pretty common things to sing about in metal. Jackson, do you listen to you listen to Iron Maiden? Do you know any?
No, not really. But I know, I just know the like title track, where he's like
Yeah.
666,
Yes.
Usual
So
man, and I don't get it, but that's my opinion.
Well, that's you.
Old dudes love this band.
We're just a bunch of Gen Zers who don't really know the whole
yeah,
context. I like Iron Maiden, but with that being said, I'll turn it over to Rust in Peace here. And I feel like I should probably talk about this album first because I discovered it first. I put somebody onto this band.
I will give Owen credit. He put me onto this band, and it was a song from this album.
It was.
It was Tornado.
Well, and I'll zoom out further. The person who put this album onto me was my dad, of all people. Rust in Peace. He said, you got to check out this album. And it was when I was kind of first starting to grind through albums and just really listen and dig into music more. He said, you got to check out Rust in Peace. This is from Megadeth. This is their 1990 release, September 24th of 1990. First Megadeth album to feature guitarist Marty Friedman and drummer Nick Menza. This is really kind of their core 90s lineup. They have albums like Euthanasia, Countdown for Extinction, Cryptic Writings, other things like that. Really, this was Megadeth's kind of peak in the 90s with this lineup. This was featured in lists such as the book 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. Looking at the track listings here, we've got Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, Hangar 18, Take No Prisoners, Five Magics, Poison Was the Cure, Lucretia, Tornado of Souls. That is the song that I first shared with John. Dawn Patrol, and then Rust in Peace, Polaris. It's about 40 minutes. So these albums are similar in length.
If you can stand Dave Mustaine, there's no skips.
True.
Dawn Patrol and like Five Magics is weird Dave Mustaine music where he talks funny and does his own thing, but this is a perfect album.
I think the bass is very strong on this album. But Dave is
shred.
This is Dave's band, and this is his kind of magnum opus. I think this is maybe not his biggest in terms of radio play. I would probably give that to like Countdown, which has Symphony for Destruction, which is like
not radio friendly.
But
this is like the Iowa almost.
Kind of. But then like songs like Holy Wars. Like Holy Wars is pretty well known. Hangar 18, like I see that video played on MTV pretty regularly.
They open with that.
Really?
Every time they open. They used to.
I've never seen this band. They're going on like a 3-year-long final tour because they just released their final album a few months prior. Would love to see this band, if they come close and if tickets aren't too expensive. But
Jackson, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, do you have any thoughts on
so
studio?
This is not their most famous album, or is it?
So this is like a Slipknot situation where it's like the best selling, but in the fandom,
it's the best for the fans.
Fans will gravitate towards this one.
I felt like it. Yeah, it's like their most popular, but I'm not super into them. So, and I definitely know more songs on this album than Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
I feel like if we got a crazy Iron Maiden fan who's also a crazy Megadeth fan, he'd still say this is the stronger album. It's just too strong with the guitar, the riffs, the songs, the guitar playing. Dave sounds good on it. I think Dave can sing. But I mean,
anyone voted for Number of the Beast?
I'm voting Rust. It's not even a question.
I'm voting Rust.
I have the posters of both on my wall.
Yeah,
they're both wall worthy, but one is way better musically.
Lucretia,
one's a way better band. Hangar 18.
Why are you slowing down? Just pick Rust.
I like to be dramatic.
I know.
I'm going to vote Rust here. So we're on to the second round.
We got to get dramatic in the second round, bro.
Let's take a look at the round 2. I will reshare that spreadsheet with our viewers at home. Let's see here. All right.
God.
Looking at it here. Round 2 features Master of Puppets going up against Ashes of the Wake from Lamb of God. Blizzard of Oz from Ozzy going up against Sabotage. Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water going up against Far Beyond Driven. And then Lateralis of Tool going up against Rust in Peace.
Oh, man.
So we've taken a look at kind of the track listings and the cover art. I don't know if we want to spend a lot of time looking through each album or if we kind of know where we want to go or just sort of talk about the matchups here.
I feel like now we can break the albums down
a little more
if we want to.
Yeah. So looking here at this first matchup, Master of Puppets, Ashes of the Wake.
Oh, man. Good luck. Both of y'all. Go ahead and start arguing.
These are two, I would say one of these bands influenced the other. I think had an influence on Lamb. I haven't heard them speak about this, but I have to imagine
it did.
Most metal artists Metallica at some point or another.
Yeah.
They're influential albums.
True.
I think.
And they both had time to be influential because let's see. Puppets came out in 86. So that was 96. That was like 18 years apart. And then Lambs came out in 04. And that's 22 years ago, which is crazy. So like whatever album, like, and if an album came out today, like where's the next?
Yeah.
Whatever. But that's
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Ashes the Wake is stronger. I love Master of Puppets, but I think Ashes is stronger.
Way. Master of Puppets is way stronger, way better. The shredding was it's been featured in popular culture, media, the album cover.
I'm looking at the track list right now.
Battery is sick. I love the thrash.
So,
it's the thrash album.
Is this my choice now?
I guess you're the tiebreaker.
I mean, we can talk about it more, but yeah, go ahead and break it.
Well, I feel like I could force Ashes through to keep going. I feel like that would be me being biased about it.
I'm really not even biased.
I understand.
Go ahead, Jackson.
Because I don't know. I do think I think there's a valid aspect to look at saying Master influence Lamb, and I think that does hold weight.
Then Sabbath would just win because they influenced everybody.
Sure.
There's a drummer,
but I do like
fair.
I do like Ashes more, but I feel like
you're right.
I feel like I would need to also give Master of Puppets more playtime than I do. I kind of like Ashes of the Wake more as an album, but God, I don't know what to do. This is hard. I don't know.
Then.
I feel like I'm being biased if I say Ashes.
Is that your vote? You don't worry about bias. This is you. I selected you to do this. I was aware.
I know. Masters of Puppets is a huge album. Like it's just huge. I just feel like
look, we get it.
So is Ashes.
You don't like it as much. That's okay. You don't have to give it lip service. If you want to say Lamb of God, just
I originally was gonna say Master, but now that I've been talking, I kind of want to say Ashes of the Wake.
There's no skips. The drumming's superb. None of the band members are lacking. I think Lars lacks. I'm a hater. I don't think he's as good of a drummer. It's not as listenable. I'm gonna hate on him.
I think we have a different ear for that type of thing versus your average listener. They hear Master of Puppets and they want to sing to it. They don't really care about the drums. They want to sing to it and hear the riffs,
It's riff driven.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So what is your vote? You have to break the tie.
Okay, I got to pick something here.
No more riding the fence.
I think I'm gonna give it to Master of Puppets actually, because it's
All right.
I'm shaking it up. No, I'm gonna give it just because it is a bigger album. I think it's more influential overall, and I know you could then just Sabbath would win, but I think it is kind of a bigger deal, and I think that has some weight. But I don't know, and that's me not being biased. So that's I think
we've put it in. You can't change it anymore. No more. Well, actually, I was gonna say this, but then now I'm saying that Master moved on. That was a scare. I don't know if that was genuine, but I've already marked it in the spreadsheet, so it's too late.
All right, well, now our choice for Meek is coming.
Yeah, let's have you talk through this one. So this is Blizzard of Oz up against Sabotage.
I already know. My brain already told me.
Well,
but I can break them down.
Let's talk it through a little bit.
Jackson, I know you're not as into these, but I know you're more familiar with Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, this is terrible. Because I love both these artists equally. Gosh.
It's tough.
I think Blizzard's guitar playing, I think there's better riffs. I think Blizzard's more radio friendly. I think it put Ozzy on the map. It's probably more influential than Sabotage just because of Randy Rhoads.
This is hard for me too.
Ozzy's legendary because of this. He already was legendary. People had Ozzy shirts. He wore a shirt with Sabbath that said Ozzy. Like people knew who he was already.
And when this album came out, it was like a big deal because it's like Ozzy solo.
Ozzy left Black Sabbath, and Black Sabbath was taking off already because Heaven and Hell already came out.
Yeah.
So he came out and said, "No, screw my ex band." And I'm pretty sure this was because you put a list of top metal albums, it's gonna be this one and Heaven and Hell.
Yeah. And I think too, like talking about like the context of Blizzard specifically, towards the end of the 70s, like they were not as popular. Like, for example, like in 78, they toured with Van Halen. Like Van Halen like blew them off the stage. So like they were kind of seen as like a dinosaur, like, all right, this is Sabbath. Like that's old stuff. Like we're on to new things. And I think this album, Blizzard of Oz, was really like a return to dominance for Ozzy and like a reminder that like, hey, I'm still here. I can still make kick ass rock, metal, whatever you want to call it, music.
I think I have. Oh, dude, I don't know. Y'all are gonna have to vote. I guess I'll have to break it.
We'll start with Jackson here. Jackson,
Well, you can't offend me at all.
Blizzard. Blizzard.
Yeah, I figured. That's fair, and I'm considering it.
let me look at the tracks.
I love Black Sabbath is my favorite band, and that is my favorite Black Sabbath album. But if we're pinning these two albums together against each other, man, I mean, you got the guitar solos, you got Crazy Train, Goodbye to Romance, No Bone Movies. Suicide Solution is written about Bon Scott from AC/DC, who died 2 years prior to this album.
Okay, here's my take.
Just throw your, who is it?
Let me break it down a little bit. I think Sabotage has better riffs. I think Sabotage has better vocals. I think the guitar parts overall, meaning like the solos and the melodies and things like that, are better with Randy's playing on Blizzard. With that being said, I'm going to vote Sabotage.
Don't do that to me. Now I feel like I gotta break. I can't.
Walk yourself through it. What are you thinking about right now when it comes
If someone held a gun to my head, I'd say Sabotage. But I really considered Blizzard. Honestly, I think they're right there on each other. But if one had to beat the other out as a whole, it's Blizzard. Oh, I can't believe I just said that.
So is that your vote?
Well, I don't know.
You changed your answer.
Dude.
It's hard.
And nobody has a gun to your head.
What'd you say, Jackson?
I said it's hard.
He just did. He's
All right, Sabotage.
okay.
Sabotage it. It's just, it's so strong. I love it. It's got Ozzy on it. It's yeah. Sabotage one.
All right, so now we have chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water against Far Beyond Driven.
One's tough too.
Jackson, we'll start with you here. What are you thinking looking at these matchups?
These are your band.
I'm gonna say they're both. They both represent certain areas in the rock and metal world.
Yes.
I think for the sake of new metal, I have to go with Chocolate Starfish. Yeah, I think I got to go with that one because that's the face of new metal, and it's a little bit more palatable versus Pantera. People see that as quite a bit heavier, and I like Pantera a lot, but yeah, I think Chocolate Starfish for me.
Do you think it was pinned against like Vulgar Display of Power or Cowboys from Hell? They would have had more of a shot.
Maybe Vulgar Display of Power, but I don't know. I'd say Chocolate Starfish.
I'm voting Chocolate Starfish. I love both those albums. I love both those bands equally. They're on the same level for me, where I listen to a lot of the discography, but I think, and it's not even recency bias, I really think Chocolate Starfish is the better album.
A lot of people are picking Chocolate Starfish. I'm not one of them.
Oh, wow.
I'm thinking Far Beyond Driven. I think the guitar work on that is much better. I think Limp Bizkit is fun, but I think that they're also a little corny, and I think that's the point, but I'm going to take Far Beyond Driven. It doesn't matter because this panel here is rocking with Limp Bizkit, LIMP. Bizkit is right here.
I'm sorry.
All right, so here we've got Lateralis going up against Rust in Peace.
I'm not as big as a Tool fan, I will say, but I'm respecting Tool and what they do and how good they are and the skill. But I think there's just too much Rust. It is such a good album.
I'm a guitar player. I like the guitars. I like the guitars more on Rust. I feel like Tool's guitars, there's good stuff in there, but I think sometimes it's like they're just trying to make, this is going to sound so just minimalizing and degrading. They're just trying to make noise where it's like Rust in Peace and like the thrash stuff. I like that more. So I'm also going to vote Rust. Jackson, are we going to make this a sweep or are you voting for Tool?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know Rust well enough to really give it.
Oh, you better not.
To give it like it's like what it deserves, but I'm trying not to be biased too. And I think Lateralis is a harder album to get into because of its length and it's a little different. It's not a straightforward rock album, kind of like Rust. So yeah, I'll say Rust. I'll give it.
Oh yeah.
Was a sweep for Rust in
I
Peace.
almost wore a Megadeth shirt today. I'm glad I didn't, because then it would seem like I'm being really biased. But
Don't be afraid of being biased.
Tool is good. Tool is good, but I think that Rust is such a good album. So
Rust is strong. So we're down to the final four.
here we go.
Final four: Master of Puppets from Metallica, Sabotage from
Oh, y'all about to
Sabbath,
piss me off. with
Chocolate
that one.
Starfish and the hot dog flavored water, and Rust in Peace. So interesting thing here I'd like to point out. So we have the 70s with Black Sabbath. We have 1986 with Metallica. We have 1990 with Megadeth, and we have the 2000s with
do.
Limp Bizkit. So each, I was thinking about this when I was going to get the 16. I was going to think, how do I want to split this up? Do I want to get 4 from each decade, or how would I want to do this? I ended up just picking 16 with the big names, but we ended up sorting it out into the decades on our own, which I think is an interesting sort of observation how that worked out. So we're down to the final four. We've got 2 thrash albums. We've got like a heavy metal influential album, and then we've got a new metal album. So we've got some different genres there too.
Oh shit.
I'm hoping we get a Metallica versus Megadeth final.
Don't say that, because now we're gonna shoot for that.
But we don't have to shoot for that. Don't worry about being biased. Just vote your conscience. Vote whatever.
All
your
right, go ahead,
heart tells
host.
you.
Which one
I'm
first?
trying not to be biased. That's been my whole thing, is not being biased.
Yeah, you say I wish you would be biased, but I'm glad you haven't, because that got Master of Puppets where it's at.
Yeah, if I was being biased, I would have said Ashes, but I feel like I have to give.
It's too late.
You should have said Ashes. It's a better album.
That's it.
I'm trying not to be biased. That's not me changing my vote. That's just me
Well, I know.
saying I like Ashes more, but I'm just not being biased. I think Master of Puppets deserves the credit.
Changing votes is not on the table anymore.
I'm not doing that. That's not what I want.
All right, maybe I think my answers are still unbiased.
I think that's a load of shit.
I think, okay, there's like one. Like I picked BLS, but
No,
I picked Far Beyond Driven, I thought.
just vote for whatever you want. I mean,
Okay.
don't-
I know, but he's yelling at me now.
This
I'm
is
not yelling.
This is right. This is
not Jackson's rock and roll.
This is Owen. All right, so what are we picking? What is this? Masters
This
versus
is
who?
Master of Sabotage. This is Master Puppets versus Sabotage. Both albums sitting on this shelf behind me.
What the hell is the weed one? That somebody
Oh,
has
that's not weed. That's not weed. Those are puppet hands.
Oh, so it looks like weed.
I thought that too.
I see. It's
Some
the green.
say, Master Puppets is an anti-drug song.
I think Master and Sabotage are not like radio friendly songs for these bands, but the hardcore fans
Really?
fucking die for them. Die for them.
I'm gonna have to disagree that Master Puppets is not radio friendly.
I think it's radio
on the
friendly.
radio.
And
Sabotage.
not even like meaning on the radio, like your mom can stand it if you're playing it in the car, like
my mom
to the ear.
My mom put me on a Master Puppets.
Okay, well, all right, fair enough.
Not all moms are as cool as my mom, but
Oh man, disposable battery Master Puppets.
Damage
Purposely.
Incorporated. We haven't talked about Damage Incorporated enough. There is a riff in like the middle of that song, one of my favorite Metallica riffs. Lion, the instrumental. The real ball knowers will know that Master Puppets is the greatest metal album of all time.
No,
This is not a ball knower here.
this is not true.
He hates the Danish and he doesn't want.
That's not
bars
true.
there.
I've seen Metallica twice.
I've seen him 4 times.
Okay, all
All right. Sabotage, though, to your point of radio friendliness, yes, it's not like you're not going to hear those songs on the radio. Like you'll hear your Paranoids and your Iron Mans beforehand. Jackson, we'll start with you here. Any thoughts on this matchup? Any thoughts on breaking the
You're breaking this tie because I think you know the votes on this side.
Yeah, we'll just get this out of the way. I'm voting Master Puppets.
I'm voting Sabotage. I think it's strong.
Jackson,
Still.
Okay.
Oh, it.
Well, yeah, I think with Sabotage being a little more niche to a casual listener, I think I'm gonna have to go with Master Puppets.
I'm gonna leave this, but it's not better. It's just not better.
I could understand, but I think it just deserves to be. I think just what the album has done.
Listen to
deserves
Symphony of
that.
the Universe. It's literally a thrash song. Ozzy's peaking. Bill Ward is playing very good. And Geezer's songwriting's amazing. And Tony is shredding on that guitar. It's just a great album.
I don't mean to say that Sabotage is a bad album.
10 years apart, by the way. 76 and 86, right?
75 and 86.
Okay.
But about a decade apart, yes. I'm a Metallica fan. For Metallica.
The vote's in.
The vote's
so we
in.
can move on.
We can move on.
I just disagree. And I'm honestly saying that unbiased.
No, it's fine. You don't have to.
I'm like,
You don't have to defend yourself.
Oh,
Your
I'm gonna.
answer is valid.
I know where this one's going, and I'm going to fight for this one. Oh man.
Jax, we'll start with you here. This is Chocolate Starfish going up against Rust in Peace. This is some new metal. This is this is a 10-year gap, so it just shows. I think too. Before you like give your opinion, this shows how much metal evolved. So from like the start of 1990, like, one of the biggest metal albums was a thrash album, and then we get to the 2000s, and this new metal genre is coming into play, and this rap rock fusion is starting to really take over the airwaves. And I think that really kind of splits a lot of people. Like it brings people into the metal genre, brings new fans, but I think some of the older like hardcore thrash fans or things like that, they don't really like this stuff. They view it maybe as illegitimate. Talking about Limp Bizkit and that new metal style. But I'll turn it over to you to give your sort of vote and your opinion.
I feel like Chocolate Starfish is a bigger album when it comes to listeners, you
I'm,
know?
I think I agree with that.
I
Song
think
is pretty well known, but I think if we're talking like an album, I would give it to Rust in terms of like listenership.
I don't know.
I think I think
Let's do
I
a
think
spot.
Chocolate Starfish is more popular. I think just more normies will listen to that.
Normies for sure. I guess I was thinking more in the metal world.
I'm just thinking listeners in general, like I think people like would listen to that more than like somebody that's quite a bit more into rock that would maybe, they would listen to Rust maybe more, but I think it's just it has a bigger listenership maybe.
If I put on Rollin' in the car with a bunch of random people, girls, boys, they're gonna enjoy it more than I play Holy Wars.
Sure.
But I mean, that's just like as a whole.
What does that matter?
I mean, it does.
Yes.
Really?
If we're breaking it all
Yes.
down, yeah. I mean, Hot Dog's fun, like because it's like Dave's funny. He like Dawn Patrol. He's like moaning and groaning in that song, and he's weird. And this band's weird.
They do have some. They both have like comedic elements to their music. Limp Bizkit definitely has more.
On My Generation, My Way. I mean, they play most of these at their concerts. I mean, this is their biggest album for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Chocolate Starfish just because, but yeah.
All right. I'm voting Rust in Peace. Rust in Peace is one of the greatest albums ever.
I hate to do it too, Jackson. I have to vote Rust. I
That's
love
fine.
Starfish, dude.
That's
That's
understandable.
tough for me. But Poison was the cure. Lucretia, Take No Prison. Oh, I'm sorry.
Holy Wars 2, the song is just an epic to me.
He plays a lot of those live too.
So I like the cover. I like
Yeah.
the cover too. Vic Rattlehead. It's sick.
So here we go. Now we have what? Metallica and Megadeth against each other? Yeah. Now this is where we're going to be fighting. All of us are going to be fighting.
So, yes, as said, we are down to the final matchup. And that is Master Puppets up against Rust in Peace.
Y'all go first.
Let me set the stage here.
I like Master Puppets.
You don't have to defend yourself.
I am.
So, for those who are unfamiliar, once upon a time, Dave Mustaine, who is the lead singer, the front man of Megadeth, was in Metallica.
Mhm.
Basically, Megadeth is his band after he got kicked out. And, he may not say this now, but for a long time, it's very popularly believed, and he's probably said this before, that, he wanted to catch up to Metallica. He wanted to, he wanted to up them. He wanted to, because Metallica is the popular band. They are like the metal band. Metal is in the frickin' name. And
Never got him.
in terms of popularity, no, but I think you could argue in terms of musicianship or whatever, like he has had a very strong legacy and a very strong impact with Megadeth. This is my favorite Megadeth album, I would say. This is where he kind of finds his core lineup, which I think is key, because in those early first 3 albums, there's a lot of lineup changes. He deals with a lot of misfit characters. 2 key thrash albums. Yeah.
What's your pick?
I'm voting Master of Puppets. And I'm voting Master of Puppets because that album, so for me, the first Metallica album I ever heard was the Black Album. My parents had a copy of that it was in my bedroom, and I would just put that on, and that's one of the best-selling albums ever. However, I vividly remember driving with my mom in the car, and Master of Puppets came on, and I was just blown away by just the magnitude of that. So I have just a stronger connection with Master of Puppets, and I still get the same feeling listening to those songs, and I love the energy. I think live too. I think Metallica has got that energy. Seeing them in person several times, really enjoy the tracks the same I do as listening on studio or even watching old live performances from their prime. I think that energy is just there. For me, this is like Metallica is like our the McDonald's here, and Megadeth is like the Wendy's or the Burger King, like the second banana, like the second tier. Very good, but I would just always gravitate towards Metallica. I think Orion, the instrumental, Cliff Burton's work on that is incredible. Some of the bass bends you have on that, Disposable Heroes, what that song's talking about, the anti-war messaging, the guitar work, is just that is my pick.
Okay.
What
How about I pick, and we'll have Jackson break the tie because y'all know what I'm going to pick.
We know what Jackson's gonna do. He's gonna like waffle back and forth.
No, and that's fine, but he might lean the right way. Rust is the better album. If you put this against like the Black Album or Ride, I mean, it could be different, but Rust is just the better album. I'll tell you why, because Nick Menza can fucking drum. I think Lars is a terrible drummer. I hear him mess up on the albums. I've seen Lars twice. He messes up live. James has got a great voice. Dave is a better guitar player than Kirk. I will die on that hill.
They play different.
Kirk was the
guitar
replacement, was he not?
Well, in Metallica's context, yes, but then when in the Megadeth context, Dave plays rhythm guitar,
But Kirk still solos, doesn't he?
but Dave doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Marty Friedman does.
No,
Marty Friedman's the lead guitar
but
player.
they both he solos on this album too. They share it.
Okay,
Regardless, I think Dave's better.
Dave's a rhythm guitar player. Kirk's a lead guitar player. That's what I'm saying. It's not like a apples to apples comparison.
Right.
But
This thing as a whole, I think the songs are stronger. I think the
There are
album art's
there
cooler.
are strong songs.
I think the drumming's better. It's very complex drumming, and I just think it's better. So I'm voting Rust. So it's up to you, Jackson, silly guy. If you don't,
Yeah.
and you gotta be careful. One of us can be
Yeah,
fighting.
am I gonna lose friendships over this or what?
I don't know.
This is not that serious, but
It is that serious because Megadeth's better.
at the end of the day, I know this is a very small sample size, and we don't have maybe some of the people on this panel, their palate is not as developed or anything.
Jesus.
You shit on me because I was just thinking about the track list. I've seen these bands twice. I've seen Megadeth 4 times and Metallica twice. Megadeth
Mhm.
puts on a better show every time. And he's seen Megadeth it was sick and
I
not
did.
they bring out Vic Rad on that. He's all dressed up. I think Megadeth pleases the crowd more.
Okay.
Know who sells more tickets?
If
Doesn't matter.
if I was
It did matter.
biased
Popular.
like 6 decisions ago and Ashes was here, Rust would have won overall probably because you guys would have voted Rust over Ashes. So, but I'm trying to just be general, right? So I'm thinking, I think I can't deny that Metallica just has a bigger audience and more presence. And I think the drumming aside too, like I get it, like Lars is not as good, but unfortunately I think the rest of the music still carries it enough for it to be a bigger album, even so, or I like listening to Master of Puppets, like the song and things like that and singing that. And like, that gets stuck in my head and the riffs, it's very riff driven. Technically, is it, in a technical sense, a better album? Maybe not, but I think it's bigger. And I think it's just like a more just McDonald's type of pick for, like your analogy. I think it is kind of like just a metal album, the metal album, right?
I don't even think Lars sounds that bad on Master of Puppets.
He doesn't. He sounds worse on Ride the Lightning, but I've seen it live and I can't stand it. But so you're picking Master, Jackson?
Is this your final vote?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Master of Puppets.
Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Crazy.
All right. So our winner is Master of Puppets.
Go listen.
How fitting for
A tornado of soul.
Owen's Rock and Metal podcast, bro. Yeah.
So Master of Puppets is our winner. We'll kind of go over the full bracket here. So Master of Puppets took down Rage Against the Machine. Ashes of the Wake took down Holy Diver. Wizard of Oz took down British Steel. Sabotage took down From Mars to Sirius. Chocolate Starfish took down Iowa. Far Beyond Driven took down The Blessed Hellride. Lateralis took down Rain and Blood. Rust in Peace took down The Number of the Beast. Then in the second round, we have Master of Puppets taking down Ashes of the Wake. And who knows? If somebody would have not been biased, this could have changed the whole bracket. Then we had Sabotage taking down Blizzard of Oz. Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water took down Far Beyond Driven. Rust in Peace took down Lateralis. Then in the final four, it was Master Puppets over Sabotage, Rust in Peace over Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water. And then in the finals, it was Master Puppets over Rust in Peace to be our grand winner here.
Well, just like you said, McDonald's and Wendy's, it was number 2.
That's how it is traditionally. But I think even, I like them. I think that's a fair analogy, but I think too, it's like, I don't know. McDonald's.
I'd like to say with that analogy too, it's like, okay, technically is McDonald's better? The food, I'd say Wendy's food is better, but it's
Exactly.
McDonald's is just kind of the overall.
People prefer Wendy's because it's quality over quantity.
But I can't like deny McDonald's being a huge, thing that has set up this and that,
That analogy to me, I was just about to say, I also don't really like that because McDonald's is low quality, but that album is not low quality. So
That's
for
true.
me, the popularity of the bands than the quality of the substance.
Russ has a cooler cover.
Cooler cover? No.
Yeah, my
What?
goodness.
We'll pull it off the shelf
And no.
hold it up right
It's
now.
just
I would say Master of Puppets still has a cooler cover
The
too.
hands, dude. It's just rubbing a fucking case, dude, with World Leader sitting behind him.
It's cooler.
They're both cool.
Who's got the better logo?
Metallica.
No.
Metallica. Yeah. Those are iconic and people try to use them for crap all the time. Like it's just I'm
a Megadeth fan. I just think they're
we're
better.
pissing John off.
Oh no, I just think yeah.
Now there's like 2 Metallica logos.
Would I like it if the Rust group stayed together and all those guys looked fan? Yes. But every album and every drummer he's picked, every bass player he's picked has been good and can play, and I've seen them live. So I think he's better. But Master won, and I understand why. I'll swallow it. I understand why.
You gave your reasons; they were valid. And if we pulled 7 people, maybe the outcomes are different. But we just had to work with the size we got, and you can blame Jackson. He was the tiebreaking vote.
No, it's fine. Master's good.
Master is good. Everybody should go home and listen to it. Everybody should go listen to all 16 of these albums. They're all have their place in the metal community. I thought this was a fun episode. If you stuck your way through this whole thing, thank you all for tuning in today. I would like to thank my panel for taking the time out of their day to come on and share their opinions and help complete this project, this experiment. Talking about future episodes of Owen's Rock and Metal Podcast next month, the month of April. If you haven't noticed, I've been doing kind of monthly episodes here. So episode 47, the current plan is to interview the owner of Skeleton Dust Records here in Dayton, Ohio. And then the following month in May, I'll be interviewing Visitor, a local band from Dayton, Ohio as well. So be sure to keep an eye out for those upcoming episodes. Look forward to those talks and those chats. And, follow on Instagram. Upload clips occasionally from new episodes, and follow us wherever you're listening to these episodes: Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, whatever you listen to podcasts on. Leave a rating, leave a review, whatever. Let us know how we're doing. And thank you for tuning in today. And as always, never stop rocking.